Uh, I thought this picture will be a good way to summarize this conference at Grand Palladium. So I'm going to talk about two more different categories of target that we worked on. And as Guy mentioned, these were the ones which are either in the trimer or oligomeric state. It's T1249, as well as there were other targets in RNA category, monomer, dimer, and tetramers, as well as octamers. But the dimers or tetramers and octamers didn't perform well, so I will only be talking about RNA monomers over here. So this T1249 target, it's arena viral spike complex, and it is from Ron Diskin's lab. It is a cryo-EM structure, and it is present in two different conformations in the EM data, open and closed. So this V1 conformation is an open conformation, and V2 is a closed conformation. And the TM score, when aligned using US align, it was found out to be 0.83. And as you can see, the V1 has an opening in the middle over here. And V2, although it doesn't have opening in the middle, but there is a shift in a, conformation. And these are present in, trimer form. All of the trimers or the all protomers of this form, they are nearly identical. So what is mainly, changing over here is because of the interface in the target. So we thought of using different matrix to, do the assessment of this target. First of all, we try to look at the structure accuracy, local structure accuracy. So we used LDDT for that and interface quality. So interface quality, we used DocQ average assessment for the all three interfaces. So I will show you the data where this slide shows these are the top models or the top groups which were able to identify either one of the state using the DocQ or other different matrix which we used. And PC folding was the one which was able to identify, or you can say they were amongst the other top groups which were able to identify this P1 confirmation very well. And what we noticed is that the V2 or the confirmation was mainly assessed and good for the AlphaFold 3 server. So TS304 over here. When we looked further at the two-state plot of this DocQ for the three interface surface, we found out that T1304, which is the AlphaFold 3 server, and you can see at the top over here at the scatter plot, was found to be doing a little bit better in comparison to other. Although this is, this two-state plot shows a very discriminatory effect, but it was, the one which shows it as the top over here. And you can see the V1 as well as V2, when aligned together with the two different models from the AlphaFold 3 server, they were found to have like a very good TM score. So in short, we were able to find out that predictors did really good at this kind of plotting, but the scores were not that great. I will now talk about another target, which is R1203, which is HIV-1 Rev response element stem loop tube. It is present in open and closed conformation, and predictors were only asked to give 5 models for both the targets. So this is a RNA monomer, and it is either present in open and closed form. Open form has this larger groove area, major groove area, and there is a disruption of especially of the one of the you can say interaction, which is uracil as well as guanine, uracil 35 and guanine 8, and which because of that it forms this major groove. And there is a TM score of difference of 0.57 over here. So what we did is we thought of working with the same scoring function which our lab developed, that is using local as well as global scores, especially specifying in these areas, which is the loops of this region and this region. I will talk about it in details later. First of all, what we did is we try to run and look at only the global GDT over here and see whether it is able to discriminate between the two, these conformations or not. And so we looked at the two-state plot and see if any group has been standing out over here, especially for the both the conformations. And we found out like these groups were pretty consistent with not only GDT but with LDDT. But the scores were again in this range pretty low, like around 50 to 60 percent. And that's why we thought of using conformational including local scores as well over here. So here is the thing we did for the looking at the local including local elements into the our composite score. And you can see the structure variability was around 37 to 41, 63 to 67, and 79 to 82. And these can be represented over here in this figure, which is a LDDT colored onto the closed form. And we took these into consideration and had a composite score built in where we used local GDT and LDDT from this, as well as including the global scores and RMSD, as Guy talked about. So here is the best composite score, global and local score, and you can see it's pretty discriminatory over here. This is the versus models. And these are the top models per group which perform better. And this graph shows the two-state plot, and you can see like PS272 group, which is a Bromila lab, has been able to perform better in comparison to other groups. So we looked further into this model, and you can see over here, this is a very discriminatory plot, and they are like all over, localized over here. So this slide shows, the alignment of the two structures which we found. So this one is for the version 1, that is open form, and this is for the closed form. And you can see the team score were not that great, but using US Align, but they were still able to discriminate between the two. And this loop, none of them were able to align them very well, loop 1 and loop 2. And these are the alignment of these on the version 1 and version 2. So you can see from the top, these are, not very well aligned. And this is, I'm showing just for the group 272 over here. I further did the distance analysis because, as I mentioned, the uracil and guanine bond was found to be very important for this conformation shift. And the reference was found to be 2.7, the closed state angstrom. Best of our model were, like I did the calculation for top 5 models which were obtained by two-state, and it was around 5.9 angstrom. So it was not that great. And for open state as well, reference was around 21 angstrom, and best we got was 11.5, near to that distance. So in short summary, I would like to point out these points that Many predictors delivered excellent model for the hollow states of the membrane purine T1214, even when modeled without the ligand bound. The alternative states of M1228 and M1239 protein DNA complex were identified by some groups, but with low accuracy. Some predictors can identify V shaped as well as compact shaped of 1228 and 1239 targets. However, GDT-TS scores for each of these targets were only 50 to 60%. AF3 servers has best performance for modeling alternative conformation state of trimeric target T1249. Several of the group did good with the open and closed state of HIV-1 Rev response element stem loop tube. Mostly they were based on AlphaFold 3 based methods, and future Cas experiment should better distinguish multiple conformation accessible for apoprotein from alternative conformation induced by the partner binding. Thank you so much.
And thank you for sticking to the time frame. We have time for one quick question. Okay, let's move on then. Okay.
So with the RNA, the two states, it looked like, it's sort of bits sticking out or on the end, sort of flopping about. Do you think that's actually really two states or two samples from a continuum? What would you think?
There were two samples from the ensemble that you talked about because, it can have a lot of variability over there. So it's not that distinguished between the two.
And I want to add to that. I think that's where it drives us to think more about going back to the data. So I believe it's a cryo-EM structure. So if we went back to the data, we might see, oh, clearly there's two densities there. Or we might see, well, it's really kind of fuzzy. And what we got from the experimentalists was they fit two states. And it goes to this concept that for this kind of problem, it's better not to fit against atomic models because they've already been interpreted, but somehow to get back to fitting against the data, as challenging as that is.
Can I ask a short question myself? So your ensembles consist of two states, and often it's bound, unbound, and I didn't see much of a disorder overall. So any chance of broadening the scope, or it's the subject of future discussion?
No, absolutely. In our assessment, we're using what we got from the experimentalists, and the field is more focused on fitting to two states and maybe sometimes a bit more. But we're going to hear a talk later in the session about our effort with this intrinsically disordered region, where we really think the right description is a continuous distribution of states. So Terry's going to talk about that a little bit later in the session. So yes, it's a really important question. It's very challenging, and we're moving in that direction in CASP. Absolutely.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So we'll have the next speaker.